finally had some success with e-com and online business, that's when I knew that I should start a channel. One thing led to another, and now we have over 900,000 followers on Instagram, over 500,000 followers on subscribers on YouTube. Overall, just within the past 12 months, I can confidently say that the YouTube channel has generated at least.
All right, guys. So today on a call we have Nate Nazareth, one of our clients. We've been working with Nate for about 12 months now. Nate, why don't you introduce yourself? I'll give you like a 20-30 second intro, but I think like most of the people watching this probably already know who you are.
Sure, yeah. So my name's Nate Nazareth. I've been in the whole online business and primarily e-commerce world for the past six and a half years now. Started when I was 18 in college, and really ever since then, I just tasted my first bit of success and I couldn't stop. And, over the past 4 years, I believe, I started creating content as well. So YouTube had always been kind of like a dream of mine as a kid, watching Logan Paul and Casey Neistat and all those guys that are still, doing well today. But yeah, so when I finally had some success with e-com and online business, that's when I knew that I should start a channel, because before that I'd try a prank channel and nothing really seemed to stick. So I told myself one day when I had something interesting, cool enough or valuable enough to share, I would start content. And then probably about a year into YouTube, a lot of people started to follow me on Instagram, and then I started posting on there, and then I started posting on TikTok, and then Instagram Reels came out and started posting on there. And then, one thing led to another, and, now we have over 900,000 followers on Instagram, over 500,000 followers on subscribers on YouTube. And collectively across, all the different TikTok accounts and all the different accounts that we have, well into the, millions of followers, and obviously hundreds and hundreds of millions of views on all platforms. So yeah, it's been a pretty cool experience, pretty cool journey. And over the last 12 months, pretty much, we've had Dusan come in and, join up with us, particularly on the YouTube side, but still with an overarching view of the entire personal brand. And we've been able to do some cool stuff together.
Awesome. So where exactly were you before? So let's revert back to 12 months ago. Where were you before working with us, and where are you now? I think we scaled from 250,000 subscribers up to 580K, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I mean, I don't exactly keep track of these things off the top of my head. I would have to check into the back end, but Sean's always in the back end checking out the analytics and stuff. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that'd be accurate then. You know your stuff.
So in terms of revenue over these past 12 months, what has YouTube directly attributed in terms of revenue?
Yeah, so AdSense wise, I would say we're probably around 100K for the last year. But what's crazy about YouTube is, you obviously know this quite well. AdSense is really just the tip of the iceberg in terms of how much money you can actually make. And a lot of the money from, my personal brand and the YouTube channel actually comes from affiliate marketing. In the past, we used to do quite a bit of info as well. So we had an e-commerce mentorship program, and then also some sponsors. In terms of sponsors, we don't, we're not one of those people that are just, having a sponsor come through on every single video. However, we do have a couple key partners that sponsor videos here and there. And so over the last year, probably about another $100,000 to $200,000 on sponsorships. And then in terms of affiliate marketing, which is the biggest source that we pushed over the last year, from YouTube alone, that easily would have been probably between $500,000 to $750,000. So overall, just within the past 12 months, I can confidently say that the YouTube channel has generated at least $1 million all up between all the different things. And of course, with the growth of the channel and the growth of the brand comes a lot of unique opportunities and just a lot of sort of unseen ROI and benefit of building yourself out there through content, through YouTube, through social media, and cultivating a personal brand. So
yeah. Would you say that most of that income came from the info product that you sold in the past, or was it, do you know, like percentage wise in terms of like the income? Was it like 50% of it was it info, another half was it AdSense and sponsorship, or how does that look like?
Over the past 12 months, info would have been quite a small portion of the revenue that we generated, and that's just only because we stopped running info quite shortly into working with you because we had a unique opportunity on the affiliate side. However, in previous years, info was kind of the dominant percentage or portion of the revenue that we were making from the personal brand and from YouTube in general. So I do think that info is it's a beloved business model of mine. I really think if you do it right, you do it properly, so much opportunity. It's just perfect for a lot of people who have experienced the transformation and growth on their own, and then, can actually be able to deliver that to somebody else. And the value and the feeling that you get from changing somebody's life is truly unmatched. And when people will come up to me on the street and tell me that, they took hold of my free courses, or that they bought my program 2-3 years ago, or they've been watching my free content on YouTube, and now they're making $20,000 a month, they moved into their dream apartment, whatever it might be. Yes, it's truly crazy when you actually see that impact that you have face to face. Anyways, back to the split. Yeah, I would say info is a smaller portion this past 12 months, maybe 10 or 20%. Affiliate probably was, the largest portion for us at 50 to 60%. And then, AdSense and sponsorships kind of making up that last little bit there.
Yeah. Back to what you said, people coming up to you, talking about the content that like free courses and stuff. I remember when we were in Dubai, there was a guy that approached you. He asked you about something specific, I remember, but you watched your content. He was a huge fan. So that's like another thing on top of, all the things that you achieved, just the real life fans, essentially.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, that's the best part of doing what I do in the content world. So on YouTube and Instagram and all this kind of stuff is being able to see the real impact that I'm having on thousands or even millions at this point of people around the world who have consumed my content, who have taken action, and who have built a better life for themselves because of it. And that was always been the primary goal, and it still is the primary goal, is to just give back and inspire and educate a younger version of myself. And when I say younger, it doesn't actually have to mean age-wise. So I'm not talking about an 18 or a 19-year-old, but maybe younger in terms of their career, or maybe they started their career at a later date. But regardless, I want to really make sure that younger me is well taken care of, and I think we've done a pretty good job of that so far.
Yeah, 100%. Let's get back in time, and I want to ask you specifically, how was your content process looking like before we started working together in comparison to now?
Yeah, so before we started working together, I think there wasn't much clear direction on where we were going and what we were doing. And then after we started working together, we came up with a lot of strategic positioning, some brand identity related stuff. So really figuring out who I am and making sure that we get that message out there. And then beyond that, more on the technical side as well, we weren't really thinking about all the little things that go into publishing a great piece of content on the internet or on YouTube. So little things like tags and SEOs and titles and thumbnail and title split tests and all the metadata and all of that kind of stuff. The boring back end stuff, if you will, really just got offloaded and taken care of by yourself and your team. So that's been hugely beneficial for us. And then in terms of the editing as well, really kind of learning about a new style of editing, which is a little bit more simplistic, but focusing on driving home the key points and the key message. Because at the end of the day, when you're creating content to inspire and to educate, it's not necessarily the same thing as creating content that's purely for entertainment. And so sometimes if you take the entertainment style approach on editing an educational video, it can actually dilute your message. And I think that's something that you and your team are super well versed in and well experienced with, is how to actually bring an educational video to life so that, one, it's still entertaining, but two, it really drives the key points home and helps encourage those people to take the right actions.
Okay. Yeah. So on the topic of quality control, I noticed whenever we make a video, whenever I review it, there's like only 1 to 2 comments that you leave on the video. Sometimes even none, to be fair. We just like post it without even checking the comments. So, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think it's good, man. I'm a busy guy, and sometimes I don't have a lot of time to sift through my YouTube videos and mark them all up at different points in time. And obviously, you guys double check, triple check videos in terms of revisions and quality and stuff like that. So it was just after a certain period of time in working together, I'm just like, what, Dusan, like, I trust you. Your revisions are good to go. I don't think I need to put too much time and effort and focus here. Onto the next, and that allows us to really increase speed and efficiency as well.
Yeah. So you've seen success on both Instagram and YouTube. Now, if there was only one platform on which you would focus on, which one would it be? Would it be IG or would it be YouTube?
100% YouTube. Like, the thing is, I've even told my short form team now that, like, I want 80 to 90% of my time freed up to focus on making high impact YouTube videos moving forward, because the biggest thing that I've learned over the past few years in creating content on multiple platforms platforms is that YouTube really is the only platform where you can build a powerful, meaningful connection with your audience and heavily monetize that as well, right? And it just makes so much sense. On Instagram or on TikTok, people are coming and scrolling on their feed and they're seeing you for 5-10 seconds, and you only have such a little amount of time to demonstrate who you are and to show what you have to offer and give value and give advice. I think even Instagram might be 60 seconds. I know TikTok you can do up to a couple of minutes, but regardless, it's just with the very short form content and just the competition with millions of other creators blasting short form content, it's good to have. It's good to use, Instagram and TikTok and stuff as a networking channel, and to build up a base of followers and push people to different links. And then I use Instagram a lot to send people to YouTube, but really there's no other platform like YouTube when it comes to the depth, like how in detail you can actually go. And I don't think anybody's changed their life ever from watching an Instagram reel, but I changed my life watching YouTube videos back when I was 18, and I'm sure thousands of people who watch my YouTube videos have changed their lives because of it, and tons of other creators. And YouTube really is one of a kind in that sense.
Yeah, same here. I mean, YouTube changed my life in different ways. Not only watching people like, you and other creators, but, it essentially turned into a business that I'm currently running. So it completely changed my life. Now, how much time investment were you putting into content before, and how much time investment are you putting now into YouTube videos?
Yeah, I would say it really fluctuates depending on the timing and what the current goals are and what stuff I have on what other things I have on my plate. But if I remember correctly, probably about a year and a half ago, just before we started working together, I would have been putting more time in than I am now. And what's crazy is I would have actually been having less output as well, and less quality output. So, now I'm always trying to think of things like, okay, I want to dedicate as much time to YouTube as possible, but I don't want to hurt the quality and I don't want to hurt the output, right? And so that's where I think really working with the right people, such as yourself, makes all the difference. Because before, I was scrambling, and even if I was able to reach a certain output or cadence, it's like the quality was falling because we didn't have all the right people in all the right places. Versus now, things have been super smooth over the last year in terms of getting out 4 videos every single month, and that's been a game changer for us, because I think in the previous year we were struggling sometimes to even do 2 or 3 videos in a month.
Yeah. Okay, 2 more questions. What's next for Nathan Nazareth? Because you have the business channel as well. What is the next goal?
Yeah, so really the next goal for me is to just keep showing up every day and doing the same stuff, and re-falling in love with the process of everything that I'm working on, and focusing on the inputs rather than the outputs, and the big goals or the carrots on the stick, and really just trying to enjoy every single day and trying to love what I do more and more. And so what goes into that as well is I love inspiring people, I love giving back, I love creating great videos that make a huge impact. And so maybe some more big projects to come on the YouTube channel, and then a secondary channel as well, where I can start to sort of segment off my audience a little bit and speak to a higher level portion, just to give advice to people who have maybe already made $10,000, $100,000 online, and who are kind of ready for that next stage, looking at okay, what does it really take to build a multi 7-figure a year business or something like that. So that's kind of looking to the future in terms of content. We got a lot of work on our plate right now. It's Q4, and there's a lot of value that we want to push out over the next couple of months. And then just for myself as well, long term e-com has always been a passion of mine. So I'm looking at a couple different brands on my plate right now, a supplement company as well as a clothing company, and just kind of navigating the two. It's a little bit different than drop shipping. It's not as quick, it's not as hot, it's not as shiny. These things take a long time to really come to fruition, but just love to again just show up every day and do what I love doing, really.
Yeah. Last question. So if anybody watching this is on the fence to work with me directly, what would you tell them?
Yeah, I would say there's pretty much no downside. I mean, apart from minor financial implications, but Dusan and his team are not greedy. They're not going to come after you. They're not going to take a lot of your money compared to some of the other agencies and some of the other guys out there. It's been really great working with you over the last year, and I think anybody that's on the fence should just commit and go all out, because you do have a deep understanding of what it takes to actually make money with content and with YouTube as well. And so the biggest thing when somebody's thinking of working with you is they're thinking, oh, like I don't know if I want to invest. It costs money to have like Dusan and the team there with me. But I would say that because you guys have such a solid understanding of how to actually monetize content, the person that ends up working with you is going to make more money because of that regardless. And they're going to build their personal brand, and they're going to create dope content, and they're going to have a great impact in the world and people around them. So I think it's just a no-brainer.
Awesome. Nathan, thank you for this call. And yeah, that's it.
Of course. Thanks a lot, bro.